Alright guys, moving on to our next Patreon request, and this one comes from Tom Hibbert, who asked me to do a hero-villain mashup between Kratos and Gorr the God Butcher. So, as always, before we get started, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Hit the third tier, that'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, let's get started. So basically, for those who are new subscribers on here, or just not in the know, hero-villain mashup is where I take a hero and basically have it be like, well, what if this character was in this villain's this villain was in this hero's rogues gallery? And I know this one is going to sound a little weird because, yeah, you may be thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense because for all intents and purposes, Kratos and Gorr should be allies. They should be friends. Like, they should be, working together. When you really think about it, that's not how it would go. I do think that Gorr would come, and obviously Kratos has gone through a lot. Now, even if they weren't, you can make the argument, well, even if Gorr, depending on the timeline of when Gorr approaches, because I think it would be Gorr finding Kratos. Gorr would seek out Kratos because he would think like, oh, it's another god killer like me. We can, what better way than to kill all gods? And I don't think that's the thing Kratos wants. You see, Kratos isn't like Gorr. He killed the Greek gods because they wronged him, on multiple levels, and he just was later consumed by, blinded by too much of his anger to realize what he was doing, but also was trying to get revenge on all of the gods for what they did to him. And when he started killing his way through the Asgardians, the Aesir, when he was starting to kill his way through the Aesir, that was more to protect his son. So I do think either way, if Gorr came to Kratos, either way, Kratos would be like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't, all gods are evil, I'll grant you that, but like, they haven't wronged me, why should I go fight your crew? It feels like you just want me to fight your battle for you. And that's the thing, like, that would be young Kratos' response. If Gorr found Kratos after killing his way through the or fighting his war with the Olympians, Gorr would approach him and be like, there are other gods out there, and I'm like, he would try to say, like, we're kindred spirits. I lost my family the same way to weak, impotent gods, and, there should be no gods or masters. And with our combined strength, we can end the reign of gods forever. And Kratos would be like, no. Now, this would also be a major thing where if it's, especially with this version of Kratos we're going to be using for this example, God of War 4 and, post the Valhalla storyline. So Kratos has been a lot more introspective. So if Gorr found Kratos and was like, you were wronged by gods like me, they hounded you and things like that, and Kratos would be like, I'm not that man anymore. You are what I was. Like, the way Kratos would see Gorr is a dark reflection of the man he was, and the thing he could have easily become. These guys would not be friends. They would, Kratos would see Gorr as the man he not only was, but even become worse. He would see Gorr as this nothing short of a madman. He would view this man as a monster, because what he's doing is, Anyway, that's how I kind of view it, is that Kratos sees Gorr as, he's like, no, we're not the same. It would be like that Esposito meme where it's like, you do this because I do this, we are not the same, I do this because of this, we are not the same. And Gorr would not take that no for an answer. If you know anything, Gorr is nothing, he's not exactly the most rational person. So Gorr, I could easily see Gorr it being like, if you're not gonna help me, then you're just another god in my way. So Gorr would go out of his way to, like, almost be like, how I kind of imagine is like almost like how Thor in the games was trying to goad Kratos to be the guy he was. So Gorr I could see like going after his son, going after Atreus, going after, anyone he could find. And basically also Gorr would be like, you left gods alive. You should understand that all gods are evil. So he would be going after what other gods are left in the of the Aesir, and proceed to try to, slaughter them all to prove a point, to which Kratos would intervene. This isn't a fight, this isn't talking about, like, who would win in a fight between Gorr and Kratos. This is more of a point of, this is how I imagine Gorr would be like as a enemy of Kratos. Again, I really never liked that idea of, I never cared much for the whole thought process of, oh, Gorr kills gods, Kratos kills gods, they'd be BFFs. No. They are so vastly different for their motive. Yes, well, let me take that back. They are very close in terms of, like, character and, motivation. But in terms of how they go about it and why they go about it, Gorr does it because it's almost like gotten to an ideology. Whereas Kratos dude even killed a facsimile of his family when they said, like, they see him as a god. Kratos did it, out of revenge because he got fucked over, and the second time was to protect his son. So, yeah, that's just how I kind of see it. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think it would be like if Kratos and Gorr were enemies? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, I'd like to thank Tom Hibbert for this Patreon request, as well as continued Patreon patronage. And other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.